Like, comment, and subscribe.
Once upon a time, in a quiet meadow where the grass swayed like waves and the sun shone warmly upon the earth, there lived 3 young pigs. They were brothers, and they had grown up together in a small, cosy cottage with their mother. The 3 little pigs were playful and cheerful, but they had now reached the age when they needed to set out into the world and build homes of their own. Their mother, a gentle but wise pig, gathered them together on the morning of their departure. She looked at her sons with loving but serious eyes and said, "My dear children, the world outside is full of both beauty and danger. You will meet kind friends and face hard challenges, but above all, you must remember this. Whatever you do, do it with care and thought. A house built quickly may not last long, but one built with patience and effort will keep you safe when storms or dangers arrive." The 3 pigs nodded, though each took her words in different ways. The eldest pig, practical and thoughtful, promised himself he would take his time and build something strong. The middle pig, who was more carefree, thought about comfort and how quickly he could finish so that he might spend more time playing. The youngest pig, who was cheerful and sometimes a bit lazy, decided he would find the easiest way to make a house. And so, with hugs and goodbyes, they set off into the wide, open world. The first pig, the youngest, soon came across a friendly farmer carrying bundles of straw. "Good day, sir," the little pig greeted. "Might I have some of your straw? I wish to build myself a house." The farmer chuckled. "Straw, eh? It will be quick to build, but not very strong." "That's fine with me," the young pig said happily. "I'll finish quickly and have more time to sing and dance." So he carried away the straw and, within a short time, had built a small, golden-coloured hut. It looked cheerful in the sunlight, and he was proud of how little effort it took. Meanwhile, the second pig, walking a little further, found a woodcutter stacking sticks and branches. "Sir," said the pig, "would you sell me some of your sticks? I wish to build a house." "Sticks are sturdier than straw, but they can still break in the wind," the woodcutter warned. The middle pig smiled. "That's good enough for me. It won't take too long, and it will look neat." With the sticks, he built a tidy little cottage with walls and a roof. It looked rather charming, and he was pleased that it was stronger than straw. The eldest pig, however, travelled farther. He thought carefully of his mother's words. Soon he met a mason carrying bricks. "Good sir," he asked, "will you sell me some bricks? I wish to build a house." "Bricks are heavy, and it will take hard work and time," the mason said. "That is just what I need," replied the eldest pig firmly. And so he began to lay brick upon brick, building slowly but surely, determined to make his house the strongest of all. And so the 3 little pigs had each begun their new lives. But little did they know, deep in the forest nearby, a pair of yellow eyes gleamed. A hungry wolf had caught their scent. In the quiet meadow, the 3 little pigs now lived separately, each in his own house. The youngest pig sang happily inside his straw hut. He was proud of how quickly it had been built, and he spent most of his days dancing and playing his flute. The middle pig rested in his stick cottage, pleased with its neat design and sturdiness compared to straw. The eldest pig, however, worked tirelessly. Day after day, he laid bricks carefully, mixing mortar and stacking them one by one. Though his house took the longest, he knew it would be worth the effort. But beyond the meadows, lurking in the shadowy forest, a wolf prowled. His sharp nose twitched as he sniffed the air. "Ah," he growled softly, licking his lips. "I smell fresh pork. Tender, juicy pigs out on their own. What a feast this will be." His yellow eyes glowed with hunger, and with a wicked grin, he set off toward the meadow. The first pig was playing a merry tune on his flute when he suddenly heard a knock on the door. Who could that be? He wondered, Peeking out the window, he froze in fright. The wolf stood outside, tall and fierce, with teeth flashing in a sly smile. "Little pig, let me come in," the wolf called sweetly, though his eyes gleamed with menace. The pig's heart raced, but he remembered his mother's warning. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin," he squealed. The wolf's smile widened. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." The pig barely had time to hide behind his straw walls before the wolf drew in a mighty breath. With a booming gust, he blew with all his strength. The straw walls trembled, the roof lifted, and within seconds, the entire house collapsed into a messy heap of hay. The little pig squealed in terror and ran as fast as his legs could carry him. He dashed across the meadow, the wolf chasing close behind, until he reached his brother's sty, Keck Cottage. "Brother, let me in! The wolf is after me!" he cried. The middle pig quickly opened the door and pulled him inside. "Don't worry," he said, trying to sound confident. "My house of sticks is much stronger than your straw hut. He won't be able to blow it down." But even as he spoke, there came a knock at the door. The wolf's deep voice rang out once more. Little pigs, let me come in." Together the pigs shouted back, "Not by the hair on our chinny chins." The wolf narrowed his eyes. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." With a deep rumbling breath, the wolf blew with all his might. The stick walls shook and groaned. The roof rattled. The pigs held each other trembling. Then, with a cracking snap, the cottage fell apart, sticks flying in every direction. The two pigs screamed and bolted from the wreckage, the wolf snapping at their heels. They knew there was only one place left to run, their eldest brother's brick house. As they raced across the field, the wolf laughed darkly. "Run, little pigs, run! But you cannot hide from me forever." The two frightened pigs sprinted across the meadow, their little hooves pounding the ground as the wolf howled behind them. The straw house was gone, the stick house destroyed, and now their only hope lay in the sturdy brick home their eldest brother had been building with such patience and care. "Brother, let us in!" squealed the youngest pig as they reached the solid door of the brick house. "The wolf is chasing us." Without hesitation, the eldest pig opened the heavy wooden door and pulled his brothers inside. He bolted it firmly, then turned with calm determination. "You are safe here," he said. "This house is strong. No wind, no storm, and no wolf can bring it down." His brothers were trembling, but seeing the solid walls around them gave them comfort. The bricks stood thick and steady, the mortar tightly binding them together. The house had windows with shutters, a tall chimney and a strong roof. Compared to straw and sticks, it was like a fortress. Outside, the wolf arrived, panting but grinning wickedly. He licked his lips as he gazed at the house. "Ah, so the little pigs have gathered together. That makes things easier for me. 3 pigs in one meal." He approached the door and called in his mocking voice, little pigs, let me come in." From inside, the 3 brothers answered loudly, "Not by the hair on our chinny chins." The wolf narrowed his eyes. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." He drew in a deep breath and exhaled with all his might. The wind howled around the house, leaves flew from the ground, but the brick walls did not move. The wolf tried again, huffing and puffing harder, blowing until his cheeks hurt. But the house stood strong and unmoved. Inside, the pigs clutched each other, nervous but hopeful. The eldest pig smiled. "See? I told you this house cannot be blown down." The wolf was furious. His face turned red with effort. "Blast this house," he growled. "I'll not be defeated by 3 foolish pigs." He tried again, puffing until sweat rolled down his brow. But still the house stood solid. At last he collapsed onto the grass, exhausted and panting. "No. Wind of mine will break this house. I must find another way in," he muttered darkly. The pigs peered out the window, watching him pace back and forth. "He looks very angry," whispered the middle pig. "He won't give up easily," warned the eldest pig. "We must be clever now. Bricks will keep us safe, but the wolf will try tricks." The wolf circled the house slowly, his sharp eyes inspecting every corner. He tried prying at the shutters, scratching at the door, and even clawing at the roof, but nothing worked. Finally, he tilted his head back and saw the tall chimney rising from the house. A wicked grin spread across his face. "Ah, of course. If I can't go through the door, I'll climb down the chimney. Those pigs won't escape me now." Inside, the eldest pig noticed the wolf eyeing the chimney. He turned to his brothers and whispered, "Stay calm. I have an idea. We must prepare." The wolf, meanwhile, began to climb, his claws scratching against the bricks as he pulled himself higher and higher, determined to catch his prey. The wolf grinned wickedly as he placed his claws against the sturdy brick wall and began to climb. The chimney loomed above him like a narrow tower, but he was determined. "They think they are safe," he muttered to himself, "but soon I'll slide right down and catch them all in one swoop." Inside the brick house, the eldest pig had already guessed the wolf's plan. He kept his voice calm as he turned to his brothers. "He's going to try the chimney," he whispered, "but we can be smarter than him. If he wants to come down, we'll have something hot waiting for him." The youngest pig tilted his head nervously. "Something hot?" "Yes," said the eldest. "Fetch the biggest pot we have and fill it with water." Together, the pigs dragged a heavy iron pot to the fireplace beneath the chimney. They filled it with water, then set a blazing fire underneath it. Soon the flames roared, licking the sides of the pot, and the water began to bubble and steam. Up on the roof, the wolf pulled himself higher and higher, pausing only to catch his breath. "Strong walls, thick door, but none of it matters," he said gleefully. "I'll drop down this chimney, and they won't have time to squeal before I pounce." At last, he reached the top. He peered down into the narrow chimney, licking his lips in anticipation. Slowly, he lowered himself inside, his claws scraping against the bricks as he inched downward. Inside, the pigs huddled together, listening. They could hear the faint scratching from above. The middle pig trembled. "He's really coming," he whispered. "Stay ready," the eldest pig said firmly. "The fire will do the work for us." The wolf slid further down, growling softly with excitement. "I can smell them. Dinner is waiting." He was so eager that he didn't notice the rising heat beneath him until it was too late. With a final wriggle, the wolf dropped straight into the pot of boil. "In water!" "Yew!" he shrieked, leaping back up with a howl of agony. Steam shot up the chimney as he scrambled out, his tail singed and his fur scorched. He tumbled off the roof, landing in a heap on the ground outside. The pigs rushed to the window and saw him staggering to his feet. His once sly grin was gone, replaced with a pained scowl. "You little pigs!" he roared. "You've made a fool of me!" The eldest pig stood tall and called out, "You cannot defeat us, wolf. Strength, patience, and cleverness will always win against greed and cruelty." The wolf snarled, clutching his burned tail. For a moment it seemed he might attack again, but the pain was too much, and his pride was wounded even more. With a furious howl, he turned and dashed back toward the forest, limping as he went. The three pigs hugged one another tightly. For the first time in days, they felt truly safe. "We did it!" cried the youngest pig. "We beat the wolf!" But the eldest pig shook his head. "He may be gone for now," he warned, "but wolves are cunning. We must stay watchful. This may not be the last time he tries to return." The meadow was quiet once more, and the danger had passed. Inside the brick house, the pigs sat together around the warm fire, their hearts still racing from the frightening encounter. The youngest pig sipped a cup of water to calm himself, while the middle pig wiped sweat from his brow. "Brother," said the youngest pig softly, "I thought my straw house would be enough. It was easy, it was fast, but it wasn't safe at all." The middle pig sighed. And I thought my stick house would be strong enough. It looked neat, but it didn't last a minute when the wolf blew. The eldest pig nodded. That is why Mother warned us. She told us to build with care and thought, to put in the work even when it is hard. A strong foundation, patience and effort are what protect us in the end. The younger pigs lowered their heads, ashamed. You were right, they said together. But the eldest pig smiled gently. It's not about who was right or wrong. It's about learning. You both understand now that easy paths may feel comfortable at first, but true safety and success come from hard work. The youngest pig sniffled. I promise I'll never be lazy again. And I promise I'll never choose quick comfort over safety, added the middle pig. The eldest pig patted their shoulders. Good. Then together we'll make sure this house becomes a home where we can all live without fear. The days passed, and the 3 pigs began to work as a team. They strengthened the brick house even more, adding a sturdy fence around it, repairing the roof, and planting a small garden nearby. The meadow that once seemed frightening now felt like home, safe and welcoming under the protection of their brick fortress. Sometimes, at night, they would hear a distant howl from the forest. The younger pigs would tremble, but the eldest would reassure them. Let him howl. He knows now that we are not easy prey, and so the pigs learned to live together in harmony. They worked side by side, sharing chores, cooking meals, and telling stories by the fire. The youngest pig played his flute. The middle pig learned to carve wooden toys, and the eldest pig taught them both how to mix mortar and lay bricks, so they could all contribute to the strength of their home. One evening their mother came to visit. She looked around the brick house proudly. My dear children, she said with tears in her eyes, you have learned the greatest lesson, that effort, patience, and wisdom are worth more than haste or laziness. I could not be prouder of you. The pigs hugged her, their hearts warm with love. Yet deep in the forest, the wolf nursed his burned tail and plotted in silence. He had been defeated, but not destroyed. His hunger remained, and his pride demanded revenge. I'll get those pigs one day, he growled. They may think they've won, but I will return. The wolf had not forgotten his humiliation. Every time he thought about the boiling water, the burning heat, and the pigs' triumphant cheers, his rage grew stronger. Those pigs made a fool out of me, he snarled, pacing in the dark forest. No one mocks the big bad wolf and gets away with it. He spent many days licking his wounds and planning. Instead of rushing in with brute force, he decided to use his cunning this time. If I cannot blow their house down, then I will trick them into coming out, he whispered. Meanwhile, the 3 pigs enjoyed their peaceful life in the brick house. The garden bloomed, the sun shone, and laughter filled the air. The youngest pig had grown more responsible, helping with chores and tending the vegetables. The middle pig learned patience, helping his elder brother with repairs and brickwork. But one morning, as the pigs were eating breakfast, a sweet voice drifted through the window. Good day, little pigs. I have brought you fine apples from the orchard. The youngest pig perked up. Apples? That sounds delicious. He moved toward the door, but the eldest pig raised a hand sharply. Wait, he said. Something is not right. That voice, it does not sound like a kind farmer. They peeked through the shutters, and sure enough, there was the wolf outside, carrying a basket of apples and grinning slyly. Come out, little pigs, he called. Taste these sweet apples. The pigs stayed silent. At last the eldest pig shouted, We know your tricks, wolf. Leave us alone. The wolf growled, dropping the disguise. Fine. If you won't come out for apples, then perhaps you'll come out for a fair. The next day he returned, calling, Little pigs, there is a fair in the meadow. There are rides, games, and sweets. Don't you want to join the fun? The youngest pig nearly ran to the door again, but the eldest held him back. A fair? With a wolves nearby? No, brother, stay safe inside. The wolf stomped his feet in frustration. Curses! These pigs are too clever now. But he had one final plan. The following morning, he appeared outside with a calm voice. Little pigs, I give up. You are too smart for me. Let us make peace. Come outside, and I promise no harm will come to you. The pigs exchanged nervous glances. The eldest pig narrowed his eyes. A wolf who begs for peace is no wolf at all. Begone, or face our fire once more. The wolf's mask of calm shattered. He howled furiously. You wretched pigs! You think you have won, but one day I will return. And with that, he disappeared into the forest. The pigs knew he might not be gone forever, but they also knew something else. Together, they were stronger than any wolf's tricks. Seasons passed, and the meadow blossomed under the care of the three pigs. Their brick house stood proudly, a symbol of safety, wisdom, and teamwork. The youngest pig grew stronger and wiser, no longer rushing through tasks. The middle pig became patient and hard-working, and the eldest pig, who had taught them both, smiled proudly at their growth. Every now and then they heard distant howls from the forest. The wolf had not dared to return, but his presence lingered like a shadow. The pigs no longer trembled when they heard him, for they knew that together they could outwit and outlast him. One sunny morning, the pigs stood outside their brick home, admiring the garden they had planted. The eldest pig spoke softly. Brothers, we have faced danger and hardship, but look what we have built. A home of safety, a family of strength. The youngest pig smiled. I understand now. A house isn't just walls and a roof. It's the work and love you put into it that makes it strong. And it's the family inside it that makes it feel alive, added the middle pig warmly. Their mother visited often, bringing gifts and stories. Each time she marveled at how her sons had changed. You have grown into wise and brave pigs, she told them. You faced the wolf and learned the value of hard work and unity. That is the greatest strength of all. The pigs never forgot the lessons of their journey. They taught each other new skills, shared meals, and built friendships with nearby animals who came to admire the brick house. Some even asked the pigs for advice on building strong homes of their own. And though the wolf never dared to attack again, the story of the three pigs and their brick house spread across the land, a tale of resilience and cleverness. At night, when the stars twinkled above, the pigs would sit together by the fire. The youngest pig would play a soft tune on his flute, but the middle pig would carve little wooden animals, and the eldest would tell stories of their adventures. Their hearts were full, their fears behind them, and their future bright. The wolf, meanwhile, wandered the forest alone. His pride never healed, and his hunger never faded. But deep down, he knew one truth. He had been defeated not by strength, but by unity, wisdom, and courage. And that truth haunted him forever. As for the three little pigs, they lived happily ever after in their brick home, where laughter and love filled every corner. They had faced the storm, outwitted the wolf, and discovered the power of family. And so the meadow remained peaceful, the brick house standing tall for many years, a reminder to all who saw it. With hard work, patience, and unity, even the strongest wolf cannot win the end.